everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I try to help you spend your wine dollars wisely. Last episode, episode 253, I thought the ending was a little weak. I know I'm going to tweak it a little bit. I want to get your opinion on this finish. Do you like the old one? Went on for a little bit too long, maybe? Trying to think of something to finish it up, to really emphasize the fact that I want you to spend your wine dollars wisely and how you go about doing that. So I'm going to try and refine that last one I did. I'm going to keep working on it. But today we're going Walla Walla on you from Saviah Cellars. And I'm kind of excited to do this. I actually believe I had lunch with Rich Funk, the owner winemaker of Saviah Cellars. Oh, it had to be about 8-9 years ago. Nice guy. He makes some great wines. I've had his wines on several occasions. And I'm excited that he's coming up for one of my events. I'm really excited about that and looking forward to that. In the meantime, I'm going to look at some of the wines that he produces. On top of the fact that we're going to do Walla Walla, which really put Washington State on the map. Some of the Walla Walla wineries really got some high accolades from wine critics. Still do. Still get quite a few high accolades from wine critics. And they're a little more expensive than most of Washington State wines, but Walla Walla really did get Washington State on the map. And now, of course, I've told you many times, I'm a huge, huge Red Mountain fan, but I still like Walla Walla wines. Let's get started on this. This is the Saviah 2013 Barbera, Walla Walla Valley, Duggar Creek Vineyard. I also want to say that this is also going to emphasize the diversity of wines that can be produced in Washington State. It's one of the unique things about Washington State. They do so many varietals very well. And, you know, there's not a lot of states that can claim that. But Washington definitely, you know, they do great Tempranillo, Sangiovese, Barbera. Malbec is a huge play in Washington State. Of course, more expensive than Argentina. Mostly have to do with land costs, fruit costs, labor costs, all that makes it up. So I'm pretty sure, yes, $30. I'm pretty sure I did this. I'm going to do it again because I can't remember. Yeah, I did it. There you go, Saviah Cellars. Just quickly show you the label again. I get to talk and I forget where I was. Okay, episode 254, Saviah Cellars. Let's see what we get on the nose. This is Barbera. Barbera, of course, is the main grape of northern Italy. I had a conversation with Kermit Lynch one time, and he told me that whenever you sit at the table of the winemakers and the winery owners, they serve Barbera. They don't serve Nebbiolo, they serve Barbera, which is kind of interesting. Very much a food wine. Let's see what we get on the nose. Pretty intense on the nose. I get a lot of cherries and raspberries. Interesting little rusty element that usually you get from northern Italy. I'm getting it on this nose. Definitely getting some red flowers, like fresh rose petals and violets. Alright, let's see what we get on the palate. Nice nose. Kind of burns a little bit, so a little bit of alcohol coming through. Kind of curious. I know you guys go, Stan, don't try to find the alcohol. Oh, there it is right there. 14.3. There you go, 2013, by the way. Washington State, great vintage. I know 12 was producing some great wines, but 13 had a better growing conditions in the fall. They could let the fruit hang a little bit longer. Now, I'm not exactly sure if that was universal, I mean, throughout the state, but the things I've read about 13 is that they liked it because they could leave the fruit hanging a little bit longer. 12, they had to pick quicker because it was so hot. Very full body. I mean, this is huge on the palate. Very spicy on the back end. Very seamless. I like this wine because it's seamless. It just kind of flows across the palate. I get a little chocolate on the finish, which I find very interesting and nice. Spicy though. I mean, I get like this black pepper, white pepper thing going on the finish. This is a sexy wine. I mean, it's got cherries, a little bit of raspberry underneath. I get a little hint of tobacco and a little bit of worn leather. But what I like about it has good acid. So it doesn't, I know on the nose I got a little burn, but that is not evident in the wine. There's good acidity, red flowers on the finish, that peppery kind of thing that lingers, the cherries and the raspberries combined together, maybe just a hint of cranberry coming through, but very ripe cranberry. This is a nice wine. Not over the top fruit, not big, thunderous, goopy fruit. It is very well balanced, very seamless across the palate. This is a beauty. And the finish has that nice, I love that nice kind of fresh red flower meets cherries on the finish. Nice wine. A little bit of worn, just very hints of worn leather. Wow, now I'm really excited for Rich to come up. That's a great wine. I'm going to go A on that wine. Well built, 30 bucks, good job. Let's move on. Saviah Uni Valley red wine, Walla Walla Valley, 2013. So this is a blend for 14.6 on the alcohol. I don't really pay attention to alcohol as long as it's built like that Barbera. Did not show it on the palate. $34. It is a blend of 50% Cabernet Sauvignon, 38% Merlot, 6% Cab Franc, and 6% Petit Verdot. No doubt going for a Bordeaux style blend here. All right. Very understated label. I like that. Not getting carried away with the label. Design just basic. It's the juice that counts, not the label. Okay, let's see what we get on the nose. A lot of currants and tobacco. Those are the two main elements I'm getting out of the nose. Has a little like a vanilla mocha thing, but very slight. Get cherries coming through, dark cherries. A little bark component coming through, which is interesting. Let's see what we get on the palate. Lots of chocolate. I mean, this is like currants dipped in chocolate. A little bit of bark thrown in the mix. Very, I mean, talk about seamless. Talk about like, just like, right across the palate. Effortless. It goes from front to back. White pepper on the finish. Again, very balanced. I mean, there's a little bit of heat, but it's not off-putting, at least to me. I mean, I can feel it right on the back side, but it's very spicy. I like the seamless nature. This is not a Bordeaux by any stretch of the imagination, so don't even think that. This is New World all the way. It's got good fruit, dark cherries, currants, chocolate, a little bit of tobacco, kind of mingled in there. Very seamless, nice flow across the palate, good structure. I mean, silky tannins. I'm just trying to think, will this wine age much longer? I think it probably 5 years max, only because I don't get a lot of acid in this wine. It's very fruit driven, but it has good balance. I mean, I wouldn't, not even close to over the top fruit. Yeah, that chocolate element. A lot of you are going to love this wine. 34 bucks. It's a good play. I mean, I'm going to have to go A on that one too. 2 A's in a row. Wow. That doesn't happen very often. All right, 2011. A little more challenging vintage. What was that? That was 13. 2011, Saviah, Cellars, Malbec, Walla Walla Valley. Just going to look at 13.7, a little less alcohol on this one. And this rolls in at $30. Again, it's, you know, I remember Luke Bradford called Malbec the bridesmaid of Washington State. Doesn't get the respect of the bride, cab, let's say, but they do it very well. And, you know, like I said, it's tough because you're going against Argentina. You know, some of the more expensive Argentinian wines, you know, 30 bucks is a stretch in a lot of those areas. From there are a lot of $30 Malbecs out of Argentina. You just don't see stores throwing them out there in front of people, but they're there. Catania does a few that are even up close to 100. But, you know, the consumer has a hard time wrapping their mind around, can't they make Malbec for 12 bucks just like Argentina does? Well, you can't. First of all, it's land cost, fruit cost, labor costs are all way higher than Argentina. And Argentina gets subsidized a bit from the government. That helps them, certainly. So don't expect to get a Malbec from Washington State. There's a couple wineries that do it, big wineries. Powers in particular has a Malbec that rolls in at about, I think, about 12 bucks. But don't expect it from most wineries. One of my favorites was from Cellars, Luke Bradford. Let's see what we get on the news. I've never tried the Saviah Malbec. Oh, very interesting. There's a lot of licorice. I get barbecue spices. I get violets, licorice, barbecue spices, big time. There's kind of an interesting, like almost like eucalyptus, almost like those Fisherman Friends cough drops, and kind of a blend between red currants and black currants. And did I say violets? I think I did. Yep. There all day. Very interesting nose, very expressive. Let's see what we get on the palate. This has a lot of depth, a lot of interesting things going on. I get barbecue spices, red currants, black currants coming through, a little bit of tobacco. There's almost like a minty component coming through. I guess that's maybe that cough drop thing that happens. It's there. I get it. Big time. A lot of red flowers. Almost a tarry component, very chewy on the backside. I mean, this is, you can chew this wine. Crazy wine. I mean, I don't think I've had a Malbec like this from Argentina. I've had quite a few, and I've had some up in the upper scale. Catina Sabata is one that I've had that I think it's around 80 bucks a bottle. But this has got some very interesting components to it. Good acidity, I mean really good acidity, with the red flowers, with the red and black currants, with that kind of minty undertone and barbecue spices. Makes this a very interesting Malbec. Of all of three of these, this one will definitely age. It's got good aging potential. I would like to taste this in about 8 years and see where it's at. I think that acidity will mellow out and blend in with the fruit. I'm going to go away on that one. Also, I have to Those are all seriously good wines. Seriously good wines. 3 A's in a row. I don't know if that's the first episode that's happened, but first one in my memory that I can, that I recall. Very balanced, very seamless, very well made. I'm excited. I'm excited to have him up to taste through his wines with my wine group. They are going to love them. Thanks for watching. Remember, it's all about not the label. Don't judge it by the label. Buy what's in the bottle. Buy the juice. And be true to your palate. It's all about your palate, not my palate, not Parker, not Suckling, not all those critics. It's be true to your palate. And I will continue to help you spend your wine dollars wisely. Cheers.